What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff, and the owner of RDRGear here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And if you followed the channel previously, you've always heard me say, hey, we're a soft goods manufacturer. Well, I'm going to show you what we manufacture. And this pile of stuff in front of me is actually a plate carrier. It's our PRC plate carrier. So give me a minute. I'm going to break it all apart and come back, show you what we got. All right, guys, we're back. So I got all this stuff organized and unvelcroed. It's a pain. But so when we built the plate carrier, this was, 2020, we had the riots and all the nonsense going on in the country. And we realized that, I think the country realized, civilians alone especially, having a plate carrier isn't a bad thing. And in the law enforcement side, we realized, man, you know, a lot of the gear that law enforcement was issuing to the average road officer was pretty inadequate in regards to modularity and function and features that the officer would need for the job. And we started looking at plate carrier options, and we started out with the PRC, which is a Patrol Ready Carrier. And this is for anybody in regards to looking for a carrier. This is not a sustainment rig. It's not an assaulter rig. This is for anybody in the LE community in response to an active killer, active shooter, and for the prepared citizen to have something for that bug out bag in the home, etc. However you apply for training, etc. Started working on this. I had two things in mind. One, I wanted to build, or actually three. I wanted to build it in-house. I wanted to be focused was 100% comfort, so that anybody could run the cheapest plates possible and have comfort. I have a ton of different plate carriers from big brands, and I always had a pain spot right on the trap next to the neck. The other thing was I wanted the person who bought it to be able to scale it with confidence and adding product and parts and pieces to it as they chose, but they could go back to the same vendor and have product to upgrade and not have to guess whether it would fit or not fit, was it Velcro compatible, all that kind of stuff. So this is all the components to the PRC carrier. With the exception of the OPP pouch and the AMP med kit, these four components is what makes up the PRC carrier. So I'm gonna give you, let's start with the carrier, the plate bags themselves. So the plate bags, you notice these really weird long ears. One of the things I noticed when we looked at other brands of plate carriers is that the front and the back Velcro straps, they would fold over, but only maybe 4 to 6 inches. And then they would drop down and they would have like a big weird U shape, and all that weight was being dropped in this position and coming straight down on top of the shoulders. It wasn't as much skeletal section and some trapezoid muscle here. It was simply, is it trapezoid or trap? Trap muscle? I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's trap, not trapezoid, but we'll find out. The comments will let us know. So I wanted to have a little more skeletal structure, so we had more of a V shape going through the head versus a H shape. And that's what a lot of plate carriers are. They're very narrow on the entry, so they scrape the ears, etc. So when you look at these two pieces, you'll notice how long they are. And there's a reason for that. And I'll get you guys an overhead here. And any of you guys at home watching this video ever played high school football or college football? Hopefully if you played the pros, I expect a sale from you because you got money to buy one. When we looked at this, I wanted you to be able to put together and recognize when you see it put together and see the overhead view of it, it's going to be very similar to football pads, because the entry, or where the head goes through, is an oval, not a square. So I'm going to kind of throw this together real fast and as a hasty way to show you guys, and I'm going to show you my personal one that's completed. So normally we line up this tabs like so, and you guys can adjust this for whatever height. This will fit the smallest, tiniest female cop, or female in general, to a very lengthy, very thin dude. And it will fit a pretty good sized dude. If you don't skip any meals, we might have to help you out with a little bit of a customized cummerbund, but it can be done. So when you notice how these tails come through, right? So we've attached to the base right here, that's the basic. Now, when the tail comes through, and this is where this becomes that customizable feature. So you'll notice how the two tails come all the way down, kind of towards the nipples, if you will, on a plate carrier, right? These tuck in, and there's Velcro that goes all the way down, like so. So now what happens when you lay this out, as I mentioned earlier, notice the shape, okay? Notice how it goes this direction. Well, if my neck is here, I'm getting some trap, and then I'm getting the skeletal collarbone. I'm getting that skeletal support. So what happens when you look at a side profile of this thing, when it pulls down, or that curvature, I don't have plates in there, but when we pulls down this direction, the front weight is pulling the back is pulling the front, so now it pulls like this. It pulls on itself, so now it's not coming straight down. It's literally pulling, so whatever weight on the plate bag in the rear, plate bag in the front, they counterbalance each other, and the cummerbund in the middle, once it compresses, it now takes the weight off the shoulders. I love doing this demo live to people because they always tell me, oh man, you gotta have shoulder pads, you gotta have shoulder pads. I purposely run some Hesco L210s in here. That's one of the heavier plates in the market. And I don't say anything about the design feature. I say, hey, you know what, just try it on, all right? And I put it on, and I adjust the cummerbund on them. I said, where do you feel the pressure? And they're literally, you can see it in their face. They're not feeling the pressure of a traditional plate carrier because the way this yoke system is built and the way that you can see how wide this scoop is right here, right? And that's, most other plate carriers on the market have more of this, not this. And that's just a natural lay of the plate bag. And that was the focus, because I've worn this thing with L210s, and the longest I've ever worn it, I did a class, and I wore it to and from the range to the hotel purposely, and I was very impressed. And I let a buddy borrow it the next day in the class, and yeah, every time I let someone try it, they're very impressed with it. So that was that, right? You guys all know we make our MSP, which is our split pocket design, 2 individual pockets, so that way you can store products, stuff's not falling across back and forth. The front pouches are removable, the flaps, and you can take one off, take one on, whatever. It comes with the 5.56 placard insert, and it comes with the pistol. Don't mind this pistol one, my brother organizes this stuff, and I couldn't find a new, clean pistol insert, so I had to get one of my used ones. But both come with the plate carrier. If you want to upgrade from 5.56 to say subgun, AK, 2308, whatever, we can accommodate. There are some limitations, like things for subgun. We don't do MPX. That's just a weird shaped magazine. So that's that, right? So when you guys run this thing, you can just literally drop your double mag pouch in here and rough mag insert. So, but now your placard clicks in, and now you have your basic plate carrier, right? Now we go to our cummerbunds. When I built these cummerbunds, I wanted them to be user compatible for anybody from the regular Joe like me to the LE guy. If you want to run a knife up front, you want to run a radio up front, you want to run a magazine, whatever you want to do. So if you notice, the bottom of each cell has a Velcro tab, and that's what this is. You get a package of these feet. So this cell allows you to have right height adjustment for whatever you want to put in here. So if you want to run a magazine up front, now you can run a mag and it not be up in your pectoral muscle. When I had some of the female officers try these out for me, they really liked this because they were able to put a radio up here or a magazine, and it wasn't up in the side boob here or way up in the face with the radio. So this was cool because now they could drop it down lower and still have a functional first cell on the cummerbund. And so you get a couple long ones, some medium ones, some short ones. You could run that through. The 2 negative cells in the rear, this was by design, because now having these 2 negatives, even though they do have a Velcro in here, you technically could use them if you wanted to for like a buddy deployment of some tool or something. But by having the 2 cells this way, whenever you don the plate carrier, it keeps the 3 primary cells center of the body. So that was by design. So you get your whatchamacallit, your cummerbund. I'm gonna size this for me basically, because I know you're gonna overlap like so. And let's talk about the rear. When we built this, I didn't put a rear flap on here. I didn't think it was needed because, again, this is gonna be kind of a active shooter, quick deploy. You didn't wanna have to you know, we've never had these come apart and tear apart or come off. Maybe in the future, would we add a Velcro panel? Probably, because I have some ideas on how to add maybe our gas mask bag or one of our larger med kits and a MOLLE compartment there. Maybe we would laser cut the top, laser cut the bottom. And again, that could grow in the future, but there's no problem. There's many other manufacturer plate carriers who have a similar back design. So, right? All right, now we're starting to look more like a plate carrier, right? So we've got that done. And as mentioned earlier, you would have your 5.56 cell, your pistol cell, you're done. So this portion here was the basic plate carrier, the PRC that you can get in individual or a package. When we got to the plate bag part of it, if you've ever played with a plate carrier in the past, this flap is always on the front and it goes down and around, right? I reversed it on this one so that when you put your plate in here, and I should have brought one, but I didn't. So your plate bag goes backwards, right? Like so, okay? And the reason for this was things like med kit, right? So have the flap to go internally like so. And the reason for that is now your plate could go in and you could take things like your amp med kit. This is the amp med kit that we make here at RDR. This is a dangler / fanny pack. Every amp med kit comes with a belt on the inside of the pocket. You can run it as a fanny pack, or you can open it and run it as a dangler. Your buckle system's in the rear right here. And now you can take this and run it against your plate like so, and it's one less Velcro under here that you had to deal with. So now you have your med kit always on your carrier, and it's out of the way of the main pouch because it's Velcroed into the body, and it just goes in between your plate carrier and goes in between the plate and the plate flap, and you're good to go. What's great about this, you can run the amp XL. You can run a gas mask if you're a mobile field force guy for law enforcement. Back in the riot days, you can run the gas mask up front, flip it over. The same thing here. Run your plate through here, and now you could run your dangler or your gas mask bag off the backside. So it really has a lot of option for you to be able to carry some main components, or you can run an additional amp off the back, a larger med kit, however you want to do that, right? And so now you're kind of seeing how this thing comes together. This is the organizer pouch, or the OPP. This is a great way to have your personal organization in regards to your personal wallet, iPhone, car keys, right in the rain pad, whatever you want to use. These come with our laser cut pull tabs, like you see here on the amp. And that can drop into that side of the carrier. And now you have a very robust package with everything you need here. And you can modify, the OPP pouch comes in the 4-inch, the 6-inch, as well as an 8-inch. So there's quite a few options you can do. The 4 is the pocket up front, the 6 is the mid pocket, leaving you radio or a magazine, and the 8 is the full one in the rear. And you can see all that. So mine is set up a little differently with a 4, a 6, a single rifle mag, and some pistol mags, etc. I'm gonna show you guys what a full one looks like right now, and you guys can see the comparison of the two with all the accessories. So this is my personal one. This is one that I pretty much take everywhere. So we're running the double pistol insert. The insert will work for 2011 magazines, Glock, 45, whatever you wanna do, you're good to go there. ID panels here. I'm running the 4-inch over here, and that's just where I'll put like a Right in the Rain notepad, or my wallet, keys, or whatever I'm doing that. It's just easier to have that stuff on you. This one here is the 6-inch, and normally what I have in here is the North American Rescue, I think it's the IPOC or IPAC, I think it's IPOC, Individual Police Officer, IFAC, whatever it is. They come in a pre-sealed bag. All I do is cut the top of the bag off. The entire bag will fit into this pocket. So it's a full additional med kit that I can put in here. This also is big enough to fit all your big phones. So you can put your big phone in here, anything you want to put else you want to throw in there. It's a 6-inch pouch, so it's a pretty good size. It's got the pull tabs up top as well. And then I still have room for a single rifle mag. So that's that. You guys too, if you had any questions before, and I should have covered this earlier, for guys who are running radios, you have a comms slot right here for earpiece. And then you can do the mic loop. Also, what's cool for the LE guys out there, if you're looking for, under here, I should have covered it again, but this is laser cut moly. Your camera mounts for most of your body cameras will mount the moly slot right here, so you can put your camera up front. Cuff keys, whatever you want to throw in here, you can use that. And then run your mic loop stuff if you have that. If you don't know what mic loop is, look it up. Solid dude, makes an amazing product. And then you can run whatever ID panels you have over the top, right there. And then ID panels up front as well. And then how we have this one set up here, this is the Amp XL, and this is my IFAC. Everything's organized in here. I've taken some stuff and putting stuff in and out of here, but we use the one wrap so you can organize everything you need. This is some stuff that I use for this demonstration, but normally it's a little bit more organized and a few more things in there. But the Amp XL you can use, or you can use the standard amp size, which we saw in the gray earlier, and that's that. Similar on the back, same Velcro option there. And that's it, guys, and that is the PRC plate carrier. This one here, if you bought everything you see on our website, RDRGear.com, under the bags and gear section, the PRC with the placard, with your OPP pouches and amp med kit, if I ballpark remember correctly, you're under 500 bucks for everything. When we priced these, my buddy Josh, PP Solutions, they sell a HESCO dealer. They're here in Utah, they're a HESCO dealer. If you put some L210s in here with this system right here, you're under $1,000 for this entire setup. And for any street cop out there, this is a great way to augment your active shooter, active killer kit. We just sold this gray package to the AG's office. So they're upgrading all their guys over there for support for active shooter, active killer roles. And so they're going gray with an identifier and as well for heat. Same thing they do in Arizona using gray. But man, this is a great option. We build every single component of this in-house. So there's a lot of scalability you guys can do there. We got a few Tigris components coming out to help you hang some stuff on this bad boy. But at the end of the day, you can find these at RDRGear.com. This is the PRC Patrol Ready Plate Carrier. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, post 2-3 videos every week on gear that we manufacture, gear that we buy, gear that we review. Until next time, be well. Take care.